Hi, my name's Chad Given. I'll be discussing Samoa and the history of Samoa and a little bit about their government. It's a beautiful place, and here we go. Here we have Samoa, the beautiful islands of Samoa. Great place to vacation. There's palm trees, beautiful beaches, beautiful gardens. It's just a sanctuary. Beautiful colors, bright and exuberant. There's surfing, there's waterfalls. It's a great place. Samoa, the earliest human settlement was around 1500 BC. This is based on the findings that archaeologists found. They're called the ancient Lapita pottery shards, and they were found throughout the islands, scattered. They did not find any complete whole ones, but they have shards. They're very beautiful. There's designs on them. It's pretty cool. Samoa is recognized as the center of Polynesia. The language is part of Austronesian language family. The most popular theory is that Samoans, like other Polynesians, originated from the East Indies, the Malayan Peninsula, or the Philippines. They believe that they were the cradle of Polynesian culture. They are a race of people created by the god Tagaloa, similar to the story told in Genesis in the Bible. Samoa was very busy in the mid-1970s when trading ships sailed along the Spice Route and looking for great southern land. They would just sail and they'd run into the Samoan Islands, and so they set up trade routes. The very early contact with the Europeans, though, got bloody, and it took place in the islands that are now part of American Samoa. The islands of Independence Samoa suffered the same acts of violence and disease that came with the European ships. With not the greatest timing, the British came after Europeans and the Samoans had been fighting, and the Samoans were not in a welcoming mood. But the British came, and they both fought and lost lives on each side, and but the Samoans, because of this, gained a reputation, and that reputation was to be hostile and aggressive, or in other words, badass. And they were big people, mean attitude when you mess with their land, and they definitely showed it by beating up on the British. Now, after this, surprisingly, missionaries came, and Christianity began to spread. The Samoan god Nafuanu had prediction that there was a new religion that would come and would be more powerful, stronger than any old gods, and it was Christianity, and it spread very fast. And in 1936, John Williams and Charles Barth came to Samoan Islands, and they were the first two men to take up missionary positions in Samoa. Sadly, Williams he didn't end well between him and the Samoans. He converted many people to Christianity, but stepped over the wrong toes and ran into some cannibals, and he became a main course at a traditional Malaysian feast. But that didn't stop Christianity. Today, Samoa is considered the Bible Belt of the Pacific. So, John Williams really, he did his job, but at a price, and he was killed and eaten by savages. As time went on, the Samoans really began to speak out and then stood up for themselves, to fight for their rights, and they really wanted to become an independent country. And they started this movement, the Mao movement, in 1908. Mao meaning opinion, and they really just wanted to be their own self and have their own country because they were their own people. And this resistance of Savi was led by orator chief Lawaki Numalulu, and him and Ma'apul chiefs and their wives and children were exiled because of this, because of them standing up. And in 1909 they were exiled to Saipan, and many of them died because of this. The Mao movement really sparked a momentum in the eyes of Samoans' royal leaders, but they were against violence, and because it wasn't worth it to them for their people to die. And sadly, on December 28th, 1929, Tapul Tamaiz was shot along with 11 others during a peaceful demonstration in the capital of Apai. After the start of World War I in August 1914, New Zealand sent men to seize and occupy German Samoa. And it was German Samoa because the United Nations, United States, and Germany all came to Samoa for trade posts, and they were going to fight for it. And Germany got some land, but New Zealand sent these men, and Germany refused, but there was no fighting, there was no violence. And in 1919, the Treaty of Versailles was established, and Germany was relinquished its claims to the island, thankfully, and it was reclaimed by New Zealand. Now I'm going to go over that once more, wink wink. The start of World War I in August 1914, New Zealand sent men to seize and occupy German Samoa. I'll say that one more time, German Samoa. Later on, Western Samoa, the country received its independence. That's right, Independence Day, on January 1st, 1962. I'll say that one more time, January 1st, 1962, as Western Samoa. The first Prime Minister was Chief Faim Matafa Faumoni Malui II. Samoa was the first Polynesian people to be recognized as a sovereign nation in the 20th century. In 1947, the Constitution was amended to change the country's name from Western Samoa to just Samoa. The capital of Samoa is Apai, and I'll say that again. Capital is Apai, A-P-I-A. That's A-P-I-A. Their government, in regards to government, their parliamentary democracy with a unicameral legislative assembly consisting of 49 members elected by citizens ages 21 and over, and 49 members total. Over 47 of them are Matai, or chiefly title holders. 2 of them are untitled and represents part and non-Samoan population. The Prime Minister selects 12 other parliamentarians to form a cabinet for him. In Samoa, the elections are held every 5 years. The Human Rights Protection Party has been in power for an uninterrupted 28 years. Samoa is a Westminster legal system based on the English legal system as adopted by many of the Commonwealth countries. Their court system consists of 2 district courts and a Supreme Court manned by 6 local judges and an appeal court that sits once or twice a year. And all this is overseen by overseas judges. There is also a separate land and titles court that deals with matters relating to customary land ownership and Matai titles, or chief titles. And that about wraps up Samoa, the history of Samoa. and a little bit about a government. I'm going to end with a video talking about legislature, and another small clip of the islands of Samoa, just a little bit of extra information. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much.